Professor, thank you so much for joining us. A beacon of hope is what the UN Secretary General has called this grain deal. Just how significant is it for developing countries, especially in Africa?
Well, it's hugely significant, Lindy, and I'm very glad that you posed it as a beacon of hope, because there's so much bad news out there that this is a very bright spot. It's a bright spot for the peace process that we all hope will finally catalyze in the Russian-Ukraine war, but it's also really great news for Africa, because there are some 282 million people, according to the UN, that are food scarce here in Africa, are hungry. And the food prices have gone up 42% since 2014-16. So this is a practical step forward in the peace process, and it's a very big step forward if it holds. If, in fact, the 20 million tons of grain that are just cramming in the silos of Ukraine are released through Odessa and to other ports and get down to the continent, and the sooner the better.
Well, let's talk about the implementation of this deal. As you say, millions of tons of much-needed grain just sitting, waiting in Ukrainian ports. What happens next? How fast do you think this grain will be released? And are we likely to see an immediate reduction of food prices?
Well, that's a very good question, because we already have yesterday 5% was the drop in the price of wheat, according to some statistics I was checking recently, and that's good news. But you know, their logistics are beyond my knowledge of the actual shipping. I was encouraged, though, by the news on Thursday that it seemed to be the deal maker, when the insurers, insurance companies, and the shippers, other firms that have a stake in this, agreed that the possibility of moving forward was now real, and they would honor this agreement, and which is only for 120 days initially, but it's renewable. And I think it's incumbent upon all powers, China, the United States, South Africa, everyone, to get behind this and to push to be sure that the food is on its way to Africa. Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister of Russia, starts, this is not coincidental probably, this deal, starts an African tour tomorrow on Sunday for 4 days. He'll go to Egypt and to Ethiopia, first of all, which are very hardly hit by the food crisis, and then Congo, Brazzaville, and Uganda. So it's a very good moment to focus on Africa, and it's a very good moment to keep our fingers crossed this deal can move forward very, very quickly.
Indeed. And of course, the signing of the deal is a big moment for Turkey's President Erdogan too. Of course, he helped broker the deal and has said these developments could set the scene for steps to end the war altogether. What do you think needs to happen next now to ensure that this really could be the beginning of a peace process?
Well, you know, back in February 4th, on the eve of the Beijing Olympics, Vladimir Putin and China's leader Xi Jinping signed a really remarkable 5,000-word document that called on all nations to support a universalist view with the UN at the center. The UN was at the center of this deal. It is a step forward, but I wouldn't exaggerate it. The fighting is really intense in the Donbass region right now. I really think it's up to Vladimir Putin, because he's the one who invaded on February 24th, a sovereign state of Ukraine. And if we believe in territorial integrity and sovereign equality, which we all say we do, this is the time to take a deep breath and find a workable solution forward to both parties, to Ukraine and Putin. But whether that's possible or not, I can't forecast.
Yeah, time for cautious optimism. Thank you so much, Professor, for joining us there from Johannesburg.